Following Shepard Smith's plea to have people calm down over Ebola, Rush Limbaugh decided to attack Shep on his radio show. Why don't we take a listen to that?
Shep Smith was crying so much during his reporting from New Orleans at Hurricane Katrina, his mascara was running.
It was just Rush Limbaugh taking a few digs at Shep Smith over his Katrina reporting back in the day, which, I don't know, if you weren't upset by what was going on with Katrina, which apparently Rush Limbaugh wasn't, it means you're a fucking horrible person. So, so you're probably wondering why, of all times, and this was recorded just not too long ago, probably a couple of days ago, on his show, he brings this whole thing up. So why would Rush Limbaugh choose this moment to attack Shep Smith now? Well, it's because of the Ebola coverage, because of Smith's message. Now, he told everyone that certain people will use the threat of Ebola to show how certain politicians are not able to lead. It's political. And some of those certain people that are using this threat, a good example of that is Rush Limbaugh, who on his show has been saying how Obama is a terrible leader, that he's trying to get people to have Ebola as payback for slavery. Well, how about we just let Rush Limbaugh explain this one?
And I'm telling you, there are oddballs. There are people in this country. Do not doubt me on this, folks. There are people in this country who believe what this guy said, that this is ultimately traced back to us because of our slavery, and these poor people had to leave this country because it was so horrible here because of slavery, and they established Liberia. Sierra Leone, by the way, was established by British African Americans who fled slavery there. And if it hadn't been for that, they probably wouldn't have. So there's some people who think we kind of deserve a little bit of this. Make no mistake, that is leftist political correct thinking. It's always been around. The danger we have now is that we've elected people in positions of power and authority who think this or think like this in terms of this country being responsible, this country being to blame for things. And it's that kind of thinking which leads to opposition to shutting down airports from these various countries. It leads to opposition to keeping these people out of the country. How dare we? We can't turn our backs on them. They exist because of us. We can't turn them away. Well, that means that anything that happens to anybody here because of that policy, we kind of deserve. And it's a perverted, convoluted way of thinking, and it's there. Political correctness has been around for a long time, and it's always been over there. It's always been fringe. But it isn't fringe anymore because we've elected people that think this way.
See? Obama got elected. Slavery and Ebola. Now, this goes contrary to Shep's message that he had delivered on Fox News saying, you guys need to calm down. You know, we're not at risk here. If that changes, we'll let you know. You know, there will be people who are trying to play this up for their own political advantage. Don't listen to them. And of course, that pisses Rush off because that's exactly what Rush Limbaugh is doing. Exactly. And so he's mad. He attacked Shep Smith for calling him out on his bullshit Ebola theories, not by name, but you have to know that after this attack, it was definitely inferred. What do you guys think?
I volunteer. I volunteered to take this first, so I'm going to go at it. As the resident happy homo over here, I'm going to say that this was a vile attack against Shepard Smith for being in the closet and gay. He's in the closet. He's well-known gay, but he's in the closet over at Fox News. And him and the mascara running thing. Oh, look at that little gay guy. He's crying about the Katrina, because it would be as if he took a shot at a woman right? Oh, look at Hillary, she's crying, pat her on the head. They're just so emotional. Same thing. Because it's ridiculous. It's vintage Rush being an asshat, an uber asshat, and he really needs to go back on the meds because he sounded a lot more saner. And his crackpot ideas were not so crackpot. And that's saying a lot. Vintage Rush sounded sane. And man, when I wish a wire hanger was involved, it was this time.
Rush Limbaugh is an idiot. Because back when Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves, his plan was to send all the freed slaves down to Panama. He did not want to keep any slaves here. Okay, so it's really the same thing. We send either the slaves to Panama or we send them back to Africa. It's the same thing, Rush. Same thing. And how can you not be upset by what happened? Like, if you love Bush so much, you should be upset that he didn't respond properly to Katrina. You know what I mean? But
you know, it's funny. There was a poll or some sort of survey taken where Republicans ended up blaming Obama for Katrina, for the Katrina response.